Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you're having a great day. Um, so much to talk about. I want to continue on our topic of missions. It was so fun, you guys, last time when I recorded part 2 of the missions, and I was telling you how my first mission trip, I wanted to go to Hong Kong and rock babies in an orphanage. I ended up going to London, England. Shortly after that recording, I thought, I want to see if I can find my journal that I wrote. And I did. And it was kind of funny because I really didn't know the dates of the trip. I thought I had gone in July, but August 2nd through the 19th, 1989. So I just thought that was kind of amazing because I actually recorded that last recording on August 1st. So here we were right in there. I just tell about Windsor Castle was awesome, and I bought some blankets in Scotland, and I talked about some of the people that I enjoyed getting to know within our group. A friend who was in the group, he was sharing about his parents' divorce and how his father had had an affair, and he was pretty crushed about that. And we talked about broken friendships. And anyway, it's just kind of amazing if you can go back and read what you wrote as your 19-year-old self. Some of what I wrote, I started sharing at the dinner table, and one of the entries I shared, my girls were like, "Mom, that sounds exactly like you still to this day." And basically I was saying that I was tired and I was ready to go home because I was homesick, and I had a great time working with the kids, and that I enjoyed getting to know some of the people, but that the overall group wasn't very spiritual, and that I wanted to go to Central America because I had heard that those trips were very spiritual in nature. While this one was nice and okay, and it's always a joy to work with children, it wasn't overly spiritual. So I was seeking a little bit deeper connection. And this is another thing I thought was really neat. So like I had already shared, I got my undergrad degree at Anderson University in Anderson, Indiana. And that's where those Trias trips originated. That's where I went. Well, the head of the missions back in 1989 was Norm Beard is what his name was. And I had also, one of my friends in one of my psychology classes, her name was Kristen. She was I believe she was a junior or senior, and I was a freshman. And anyway, we became friends, and she went on the missions trip to India. She went to Calcutta. She actually worked with Mother Teresa. Can you even imagine? And I remember at the time thinking, wow, that's so awesome. But it was such an expensive trip, and I didn't have the money to do that one. I didn't have enough. And so, but anyway, I remembered her sharing at chapel. A lot of people from that particular trip shared in chapel their experience. And she had said, she showed this big picture of Mother Teresa as she was sharing, and she said that it was such an honor to get to work alongside her, and that she hoped that she lived her life as Mother Teresa did, and that she was so old and wrinkly and her whole being was used up for him. And as Kristen shared that, she said, "I want to be like that too, Lord." And I remember joining her in prayer with that and thinking, me too. Me too. I want to spend and use every bit of my life for you, Lord. So fast forward to just last week, after I was just sharing about these, somebody had posted on the Anderson University Facebook feed. There was a letter that it was Missionaries of Charity, and it was from Calcutta, October 28th, 1989. Dear Norman B. Beard, thank you for your letter. You are welcome to share in our humble works of love for the poor. Come with heart to love and hands to serve him in the crippled, abandoned, sick, and the dying in any one of our centers. I thank God for his love for you and for the joy with which you have served him in the poor. God love you and keep you, be always in you, so that you grow more and more to be his love and compassion in the world. Keep the joy of loving him in your heart as your strength and share it with others. My gratitude is my prayer for you. God bless you. Teresa. Mother Teresa sent that letter. And I just thought that was so cool that I was just talking about my experiences, and I was going to share about Kristen. And then somebody pulled this up from the archives from 1989 and posted that. So I thought I'd share it with you. And then I want to tell you about my second missions trip out of country. And that was 3 weeks in the Cayman Islands. And I remembered, first of all, we had a great group. We had wonderful leaders on that trip. And the whole group was really, I felt like it was pretty gelled. And we taught 4 Bible schools in 3 weeks. And I remembered thinking, wow, you could like go to church right here on the beach. I mean, one of these churches was literally on the beach. And those kids were just so fun and so appreciative. And we stayed at a place called Pt.3 School. And I really contemplated perhaps going there to teach after I graduated. But it turns out I fell in love. And that wasn't the path that the Lord had for me. But anyway, so we learned a lot. We grew a lot spiritually. And what I really remembered learning on that trip, personally, what I remember the Lord showing me was the vast difference between the ultra rich and the very poor. Because most of the island in Grand Cayman, it was really for tourists, and that's where they housed all the banks. So many banks of the world banked there. And it was neat to get to know the islanders. Staying there for 3 weeks really gave you a pretty good feel for the place itself and the culture. And I remember one of the guys that was at the school, worked at the school, he like shimmied up and chopped down this coconut and split it in half, and we all took a drink of the coconut milk, and that was neat. And we just had a good time on that trip, and grew closer to the Lord and grew in our relationship with one another. And I always think back to our Cayman Island experience as very fond memories. Jan Schmidt, I forget her husband's name, Steve, I think. They were our leaders, and they brought their kids, and it was fun to get to know them. And we just taught so many kids on that trip. And yeah, so mission accomplished, I think, on that trip. I do remember the giant cockroaches around there, though. I was like, oh, wow. but just really sang a lot, and we really fellowshipped together with other believers in the Cayman Islands, and that was pretty special, and memories I still carry fondly with me today. So that was, I guess, summer of 90, maybe. Um, and then I would go on one more trip with Anderson University. Um, and that was a completely different type of trip. And I will share that with you the next time. Have a great day. That's my gift for you today.